All right, class, on the last example, we saw how to take a sequence generating function and come up with the members of the sequence in that list form. Well, now what we're going to do is take the list form and come up with the sequence generating function. We're going to come up with what is that function of n that gives me the nth term in the sequence. So as I mentioned in the first video, that these are based on patterns. So it's easy to see the pattern here in the numerator, that we're just multiplying by 5 every time that we go from one member of the sequence to the next. And it's also easy to see that in the denominator we are adding 2 to go from one element to the next. Or you can think of them as the even numbers, it's just that we're not starting with 2, we're starting with 4. Now, the other thing that's important is that's the nth term, so this is the first term. So that implies n is equal to 1. And when n is equal to 1, these are powers of 5. Well, it's not 5 to the first, right? 5 to the first is 5. And that's not what this first element is. This is 5 to the 0, which is 1 minus 1. So that means our generating element for the numerator is 5 to the n minus 1. And then the denominator, there's a couple ways you can think through this. You can think through it as, well, we're starting at 4, and then we're adding 2 to that in some power multiple of n times, where the first time we've added it no times, and then we've added it once, and then we've added it twice. So it's, again, n minus 1. How many times have I added 2 to 4? I've added it n minus 1 times for the first one, meaning I've added it 0 times. And then for the second one, I've added it 1 time, 2 minus 1. So you can think of it as that, but when you distribute it through here, you're going to get 4 plus 2n minus 2, and then the 4 and the 2 will reduce to 2 plus 2n. And now you can think of it as, well, we're starting with 2, but we're adding 2 to it 1 time. We're adding 2 twice. We're adding 2 3 times. So either way, it kind of simplifies to that 2 plus 2n. So there is our sequence generating function, and that's how we typically write it, is a sub n is just, and then whatever formula we came up with for the each individual element of the sequence.